All right, Shalom. All praises to Salakia. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone of Ruel, and peace and salutations to those for elect. This video, I just wanted to go over a little bit of Psalms, the 10th chapter. Because last week I went over in a video Psalms 9. And we know around the 10th verse in that chapter is going into the Lord's name and certain things, but I'm just reading, so I just wanted to continue on to the next chapter in Psalms 10 and just read a few verses in here and break it down. So the Lord's one that's edifying, because this is basically giving us certain characteristics of who the wicked is, who the enemy is, because we always say not everybody, who's a bad person or who's evil according to the scriptures is the wicked. When you read the scriptures, there's a certain race on the earth of people who are the wicked. So this chapter, as well as many others, are giving us characteristics of who they are so we can outline them today. And we know them to be what? According to the scriptures, they go back to Esau, Edom. All right, they're Edomites, which are what? Majority of the so-called white people. So this is Psalms 10. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm going to read a few verses and maybe get other verses. But this is Psalms 10 and 1. Why standest thou far off, O Lord? Why hidest thou self in times of trouble? The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let him be taken in the devices that they have imagined. Right. So it said, why standest thou far off, O Lord? Why hidest thyself in times of trouble? Because for a season, for a moment of time, we went against the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. So that's the whole reason we're in this predicament in the first place. So the Lord, for a period of time, all right, he let the wicked have their way with us. He turned his face basically. But now we're entering into the time where what? The Lord is starting to deal with his elect again. All right, and the Lord, all right, through his son Yahweh Shai is about to deliver us up out of here. But for a period of time, Esau, Edom were having their way with us. All right, it said, the wicked in its pride does persecute the poor. Now, who's the poor? The so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. The Israelites were the poor in this time frame. All right, all the other nations are prosperous, if that's the right word. Meaning they're living comfortably, but we're the poor. As you see, we're in the ghettos. All right, the Asians, the Ammonites, they come over here and they build up. They put the little restaurants where they're serving us rat and all that. All right, they're making money off of our suffering. The Edomites, we already know how comfortably they're living. All right, they're ruling the world right now. So it's obvious when you examine who the poor is, it's the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, majority of them. All right, and you got Israelites are scattered amongst the other nations as well. All right, it says verse 3, for the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous whom the Lord abhorreth. It said, for the wicked boasteth in his heart's desire. Right. And you see Esau, Edom, that's another characteristic of who he is. He's prideful. All right. When you look at Donald Trump, he's a prideful man. He boasts in everything that he does. All right. And what they're as you see now, they're building their space force because they're trying to, they want to be prepared to fight the Lord when Yahweh Shai comes back. All right, so they're building up everything and prideful. All right, he doesn't think that anybody can take him down. But like I just went over, he's only in the place he's in. All right, because the scriptures say the wicked is the Lord's. Dang, I just forgot how it goes. Oh man, it just left my mind. But basically, the Lord used the wicked, all right, to whoop us, to beat us. All right, so that's his only purpose. That's the only reason the Lord gave him the power right now, because we went against Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. But like I said, the elect, we've came back to our nationality, so the Lord is dealing with us again. All right, so the Edomites and all these other nations are soon about to go down. It says the wicked through the pride of his countenance. All right, there we go with the pride. All right, like I said, another characteristic, and you can clearly see on the earth who are the prideful people. All right, Bill Gates, Donald Trump, what's that woman's name? just any Edomite, man. The majority of the time when you go up to a so-called white person, a Edomite, because you do have Israelites scattered among these other nations, but you know who an Edomite is, man. And majority of the time you can tell based off his countenance, when you talk to him, how prideful they sound, man. That look on their face. It says, the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. Right? That's another characteristic of an Edomite, man. All right? They think that they've built everything up on their own. All right? They don't think that the Lord has any say in anything. All right? They don't seek after the Lord. All right? They think they are God. It says, his ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth up at them. All right, now let me look at that word puffeth. Puffeth, that's how you say it. Puffeth. Yeah, puffeth. It says to breathe, to blow, to exhale. Basically, he acting prideful in front of them, all right? He's like laughing at them. Boasting, you know what I mean? What verse was I at? Psalms 10. And 5. All his ways are grievous, thy judgments are far out of his sights. Right, yeah. And as before, when I was younger, I didn't have any bills to pay and all that. So I heard people complain about all the bills and everything. But and I understood that it was messed up how they did it. But you really don't understand until you're actually put in the situation yourself. Because when you turn, it said his ways are grievous. So these laws he makes are grievous. All right, this is Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. Right, so Esau Edom is a king of unrighteous decrees, man. That's all he does, and that's why you got a whole bunch of Jake, in jail and all this stuff, because Esau Edom he makes laws and stuff that he know that, we grow up purposely. He put us in poverty, and then in order to make it in life, you got all these bills you got to pay. Like I was saying before, when I was under 18, because according to Esau Edom, you're not a man or an adult until you're 18. But we know that's different from what the scriptures say. But, before, I heard everybody complain about all these bills. But you don't really understand something until you're in it yourself, and I don't have a million bills, but even just one or two is already grievous in this hell. You know what I mean? You got car insurance that you got to pay a whole bunch of money a month if you get into an accident, and then they raise it when you're younger, and knowing that when you're young, majority of the time you don't have all this money. So it's just a whole bunch of unrighteous decrees everywhere you go. My father a few weeks ago was breaking down to me how he pays off the houses, and he was basically saying how they take, if I remember correctly, they take he pays a certain amount, like he'll pay like $2,000 a month, but really only they take $400 of that and put it toward the house bill. And the rest they keep as interest. So he said by the time, if you actually pay the whole house off, you'll have already paid 3 times the amount of the house. So that's going into, and that's robbery, man. So that's going into the unrighteous decrees that they make, which, like I said in Psalms 10 and verse 5, his ways are always grievous. So Esau Edom, that's another characteristic of who he is. His ways are grievous, man. They're tiresome to us. All right. I'm just going to read a few more verses. Verse 6, he hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. And like I said again, that he has a God complex, He thinks he's the king of the world and that nobody can stop him. All right. But we know that soon Yahweh Shai is about to come back, and we're about to have him in subjection in slavery. It says his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. And that's another characteristic of the Edomites, man. They're liars. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit. Because everywhere you go, his main objective is to deceive the masses. That's what he does. He deceives the masses. That's why everybody's caught up in the world right now, because of the deceit of the so-called white man. Everybody's on all these apps and everything. Everybody's trying to have a good time, not knowing the hell that's about to break loose. All right. But hey, you know, that I don't want to read, because I could read the whole chapter, but I don't want to, you know, you can just read the rest for yourself. It's really good. But, you know, I just wanted to bring that out to go over a few characteristics of who our enemy is, you know, because now you know that we do have an enemy, and he's in the scriptures, man. It's the so-called white man, you know. But with that, Lord's willing, this was edifying. You know, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, and Shalom.